The easiest way to large-scale transfer your drawing to a wall is to use a projector. I'm going to be painting this fig tree silhouette along with our logo to the back of our new workshop wall. Once I had the image properly placed, I traced out the drawing lightly with a pencil. If you're working on a colored wall, you might be better off using a marker or chalk so you can better see the drawing. Since my mural is more of an organic shape, I didn't have to be super careful about tracing out the lines exactly. I used some leftover house paint, mixing a dark and light tone together to get a soft gray color. When it comes to paint, you can use just about any wall paint like I am, or acrylic paint, the kind you'd find at an art store. Either should work just as well. For brushes, you'll want to gather a range of sizes based on the type of mural you're painting. I like a nice soft bristle with a rounded edge, but it's really up to you. I started by outlining my drawing, painting the lines I traced with a medium-sized brush. You want to make sure your brush isn't too loaded with paint, and if it is, just make sure to spread the paint around so you end up with a nice, even finish without any globs or unwanted texture. I did end up switching to a smaller brush to work on my outlines, which made it easier to work my way around all the curves and edges. If you've been following us on our socials, you might have seen that we are currently remodeling our garage into a woodworking workshop so I can more easily and efficiently work on all of our many house projects. This mural will serve as a sort of accent wall behind my table saw. I think it'll add some visual interest to the shop and add a nice bit of custom branding to the space. Once my lines were all outlined in paint, I used my larger brushes to fill in the gaps. I let the tree dry overnight and then came back to add our logo, again using our projector to project the image to the wall and trace it out with a pencil. Since our logo is just text, I thought it made sense to use paint markers for this part. It'll be easier and quicker to draw the bold lines with a marker versus using a brush. These are the paint markers I used, and I have to say I'm really happy with the results. I've used other brands before and had mixed results, but these produced a nice, rich coating that really pops when dry. I started by freehanding, but then I decided it'd be easier to use a straight edge, at least for the parts that involved straight lines. If you do use a straight edge, you'll just want to be careful not to smudge any of the marks you've already made. For the curves, I just took my time and carefully followed my pencil drawing. I had originally planned on having the logo superimposed on top of the tree, but as I was going I changed course because I thought it might be cooler if it was tucked behind the tree instead, slightly covered by the leaves. With the outline of the logo complete, I used my larger markers to fill it all in. I was happy to see that these markers dry with a slight sheen that nicely matches the satin paint I used for the tree. As always, thanks for watching, and if you haven't seen the videos leading up to this one, head over to our channel to see how we built this workshop from the ground up.